Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we are doing a review of Tier 10 Italian cruiser Napoli. And wow, I'm actually going to say this is a pretty entertaining vessel to play. And I actually really enjoyed her, in case you guys want the too long didn't watch video kind of summary. Now, Napoli is going to be available for coal and doubloons, and I do hope some of you guys have coal handy. So I'm going to go through the ship quickly in the port view, point out a couple of important things, and then, of course, show you a battle where I really highlight what Napoli is capable of. So first things first, let's take a look at her armor. Napoli is a pretty durable cruiser when coming towards you. So if you're pushing into things, you're pretty durable. So the reason for that is, yes, you do have a 25mm upper bow that is vulnerable. However, 60mm ice-breaking plate here, so Y-angled, that'll bounce shells. Upper belt casemate armor, also 60mm, so again, when angled, that will be a very nice bounce surface. Main deck is 40mm, also very, very solid there, and the main armor belt thickness of 220mm. On top of that, if you take away this, you'll also notice that Napoli has a 30mm turtleback right here, as well as her actual citadel protection underwater of 55mm as well. So when angled and pushing, Napoli is quite durable, although of course she can still get overmatched in the bow if people know where to shoot. So that is very significant because you'll see Napoli's role in a second and you understand why this matters. From the rear, however, Napoli is a little bit on the soft end. The armor belt and ice-breaking plate, sort of thing doesn't really extend very far aft except for this little piece here. And in this little spot where there's, just the normal 25mm that you can get overmatched from, that can lead to citadel hits, right? Because the citadel armor down here, 120, over here is only 25. So the shells really plunge down. They can hurt you, right? But with Napoli, you're going to be spending more time timing perfect pushes because you'll see what this cruiser is all about. HP pool, if you have the survivability expert skill, 63,700, which is okay. It's, pretty solid for a tier 10 cruiser. Torpedo damage reduction, 22%. For her main armament, unlike other Italian cruisers, Napoli is armed with 9 254mm guns with HE and AP instead of SAP because they've actually moved the SAP to her secondaries, and that's one of the things that is going to make Napoli very, very fun to play. Main battery reload time of 17 seconds, so, a little bit on the slow end, not super fast there. But all in all, good ballistics, 945 meters per second on the AP, 954 meters on the HE, and I believe an air drag value of like 0.277, if I can pull that off the top of my head. Her shells are going to have some pretty solid ballistics. With the HE, you're going to be able to pen 42mm and 18% chance of fire, so that's pretty solid for cruiser HE. The AP also has some pretty good penetration as well, so don't be afraid to use it if you have full broadside targets. All in all, main battery, obviously the reload is a little long and everything, but they're perfectly usable. But the real fun aspects of Napoli is this. The 9.2 kilometer secondaries that fire, guess what? SAP. And these are the things that you can have a lot of fun with. So the 90mm ones, they obviously being very, very small guns, they have sort of more lofty sort of arcs. And you'll look at that and you'll say, oh, okay, they're kind of lofty. The SAP penetration is only 26, and these things are probably pretty useless. But when you think about the way their arcs work, a lot of the hits are going to land superstructure. So 26 for superstructure, perfectly good. While the 152s, they have much better ballistics, and of course they can also pen quite a bit more, 42. The combination of these two secondaries and 9.2 kilometers means that, you're going to land some pretty nice damage there with the SAP. Main battery fire range, of course, is a little bit short at 16.3, but you'll see, like I said, being a secondary oriented cruiser, you're really going to be trying to find the perfect spots to push in quite aggressively. Sansonetti will be sort of very useful if you can proc his skills, and that will help with the range. Now, Napoli does have torpedoes. She's got 2 sets of quad torpedoes over here at the rear of the ship. Pretty decent arcs, 13.5 kilometer range. Of course, typical Italian torpedoes are a bit of a sea mine. But if you're trying to kite away from stuff, dropping these torpedoes in the pathway of pushing enemy ships can lead to some surprising torpedo hits. And the torpedoes, in terms of damage, they're not amazing, but hey, torpedo hits are torpedo hits, and they hurt. A defense is the one sort of major shortcoming of Napoli. 4.6 kilometer firing range means that CV players that drop fighters to keep you spotted, you're not really going to be able to shoot those fighters down unless you get kind of real up close and personal. So that is one of the things that she's not super good at. So, kind of a negative, but again, that's not really her shtick, right? Unlike a lot of other Italian ships. Maximum speed, 37.3 knots. Oh, yeah. With the speed flag, she is fast, and that speed is going to come in really, really useful as you're trying to close the range in order to get into secondary range. Turning circle radius of 750 meters, rudder shift time of 10 seconds. Yeah, I know it's not like super, super, super maneuverable on paper, but in-game I had no issues with her. The concealment, again, you'll notice, fully spec for concealment, 10.3 kilometers. This allows you to pretty much get spotted, and from that to your secondary distance, not too much distance to close, especially with your speed. Furthermore, you also have Italian fuel smoke, where if you fully spec it, with the flag and everything, you can get that smoke up to, close to a minute, right? So that's a lot of exhaust fuel smoke that you can use to close distances and let your secondaries go to town on people. The Napoli also comes with a fighter, and it comes with a repair party, although the repair party's reload time isn't always all that great. Sometimes you wish it would cool down a little bit faster, but yeah, you'll see how this ship works in battle. In terms of your captain skills, unfortunately, we don't really have secondary skills for the captain for cruisers. I wish they did. I think it would add a lot more fun things to do with this ship, but also understandable because it also makes it kind of OP. I sort of went with this build where I got gun feeder, which is quite useful on Sansonetti because of the 75% time to reduce to switch shells. The consumable enhancement, 10% for that fuel smoke, very, very useful. Adrenaline rush is good. Extra charges of heal smoke, that's all super useful. Getting the survivability expert skill is going to increase the amount of HP you can heal. That's also quite good, especially because increasing the HP pool is always good for a cruiser. Concealment expert, obviously, to get you down to that nice magical 10.3 kilometer surface detect, and top grade gunner, because your real thing is getting up close and personal with people. So the secondary battery reload time reduction and the main battery reload time reduction is going to be quite helpful. Now, in terms of your modules, I actually do recommend focusing more on secondaries. So secondary battery mod 1, and also getting something like even auxiliary armaments mod 2 for that extra 20% reduction to reload time. Because when you do get into range, you really want your secondaries to do work. So let me show you what this ship does in battle, and you'll probably understand why I'm actually so excited about having this ship in the game. So here we go with the Napoli on Sleeping Giant, and we spawn north, me and my division mate who is playing Ashima, and of course I am going to head towards the A-cap because A-cap has some pretty good cover for me to get close and maybe utilize those secondaries. First enemy target that pops up that I can shoot at is the Worcester. As you can see, sub 7-second shell flight time to about 14 kilometers. Napoli's ballistics are quite darn good. Although I probably should have stuck with HE and just shot HE because the Worcester most likely was going to turn in like that. But that is okay. This is early on in the game. Not a lot has happened yet. Okay, can't really shoot the Iowa there. See if I can get another AP salvo in on the Iowa. Probably do some damage. Again, with the Iowa, I do have to aim a little bit higher, try to hit the upper belt instead of the main armor belt because I don't have that level of penetration. Okay, there we go. Going for the upper belt shot. I will also turned in. Bummer. A little bit of damage there from the overpen and the penetration. All right, waiting for the good opportunity. Initially, I was thinking the Iowa might have turned in here and decided to actually go bow in. Instead, the Iowa decides to do a full turn. I really should have swapped over to AP here and taken a shot. Instead, unfortunately, I didn't do that because I was watching my SAP secondaries go off and go, ooh, I can actually hit the Worcester. I got a little distracted there. So HE salvo away. Could have gone for an AP salvo for better damage, but that's okay. Got a fire, got some damage. pretty good. SAP already starting to rain down on this Worcester here. All right. Iowa's actually not too far away from me. I have a smoke activated. I'm hoping what I can do here is that the Iowa might stop in order to try to, sort of kite tank, sort of kite away and then tank some shells or whatever for his team. And hoping he was going to stay stationary and I was going to be able to get some SAP secondary action on this Iowa. Fortunately, I got a little bit too close to the Worcester and the SAPs are no longer going in that direction. Bummer. Would have been cool to have secondaries on both sides sort of just ripping into two targets. That would have been quite fun. All right, so early on in the game, about 20k damage. Not too bad so far. Could have done better. There we go. Soft nose. So, of course, if a battleship shoots you there, they can actually overmatch that particular piece of armor and do some damage. But it's a small kind of bit of your ship, and the damage does actually saturate reasonably quickly. So there is a pretty fast damage reduction there after a few hits. All right, Worcester, is he going to come out or is he just going to stay in there? He's going to stay in there. I was hoping he was going to come out, because he's kind of in a bad position, is going to die anyways. So if he came out and, got his last little bit of damage, I might have been able to get a little bit more there. Enemy Harlem decides he is going to try an airstrike on me, and this airstrike actually does catch me because I was stationary. But as you can see, not too bad there. And a lot of damage being dealt to me. So all is good. I'm going to push in here, see if I can get rid of this Worcester so we can actually make a good push. And there we go. I get a little bit of a KS in there. Surprise enemy Baltimore. Okay, this was unexpected. I didn't really expect the Baltimore to be there. Angle in. I do have a turtle back, so chances of him citadeling me not super high. Fire return salvo. I get some citadels. Also, he's in perfect range for SAP, and his armor is pretty thin, so my SAP begins to do work, starts sort of chewing that Baltimore a new one, but my main guns reload just in time for me to do that, and I blap that Baltimore quite early on in this game. So all is good. I am actually going to move straight into this cap. The enemy Asashio has, I guess, moved off at this particular point in time, so cap is going to be mine. I am wary of rushing out on the other side because that's usually not the world's best idea when there's Iowa over there. And also there's a Shikishima closer to the original C cap for the enemy. So yeah, not really going to go and probably chance that fight. Going to pick a better moment. And Napoli is really about picking your moments. You have a good moment. You make a good push and the enemy is going to take quite a bit of damage from you. You do a bad push at the wrong time and, well, you're not as effective. So timing with Napoli, and that's with a lot of other secondary ships, is very, very essential. Now, of course, remember, because these are SAP secondaries, you're not really going to get fires or anything like that. So, it's pretty much just penetration damage that you're going after. Okay, so enemy, okay. That came from, I believe, the enemy Talon, who is currently hiding over there behind an island, so don't really have a lot of vision on him. He got some vision from the enemy airplane, so that actually is why he was able to shoot me here. All right, again, seeing the Shikishima, very full HP, and where the Iowa is, not too keen on going out there and fighting the two of them. So, gonna try to turn back around here. Okay, so Talon does get a nice little salvo on me, but again, nothing super heavy. The turtle back, once again, preventing any citadels from that Talon. A good hit there for, actually, no, not a good hit. Sorry, my bad. A couple of over penetrations. I thought I actually aimed a little bit better on that salvo, but guess not. And see if I can get another salvo there. Okay. Got a couple, actually got 7 over penetrations. That's some damage there. And, of course, another airstrike inbound. But I'm not too worried because I'm already maneuvering. And I don't think that airstrike is going to land Yep, there we go. Total miss. Good. Again, not too keen on fighting a Shikishima Iowa in the positions that those two BBs are in right now. So I decide I'm going to go take one extra loop around the cap and then exit when the situation is better. I do believe those torpedoes are heading towards that Iowa from the Shimakaze. And the Iowa should be going down here in a few more seconds. As soon as the Iowa is gone, I'm going to be able to make another move. There we go. Iowa going down. Harlem is behind the island in the sea cap, so I believe this is my opportunity to make another push. And with Napoli, once again, and I'm going to have to say this, I'm going to sound like an old broken record, you got to time your pushes. You have that perfectly timed push, you're going to have a good time. If you just YOLO in, you're probably going to die miserably. it's very, very similar in concept to a lot of the other secondary battleships in the game, like Georgia, a lot of the German secondary battleships. Timing is key when you're playing these ships, right? Okay, so take my HE shells, try to poke that Shikishima, maybe get some fires just to burn them down a little bit. Unfortunately, no penetrations there. Okay, so this is the time to begin the push, because on this side, I believe there should only be a Harlem and a Shikishima, and that is both in sort of the rough, similar type direction, should be able to angle them. So here we go. And just a little bit careful again. Just seeing if there's anything else on the other side that I got to keep an eye out for. Nope, nothing to worry about. Here we go, making the push. With the Napoli, that speed and that concealment is a really good combination, because once you decide to push, right, enemy might not know that you're coming, and then suddenly at 10.3 there you are, you're coming in fast, and then if you want to, you got the extra smoke to just kind of give you that extra couple of seconds to really get into secondary range and then start pummeling the enemy ships here. All right, so here we go. Gonna make this move. See, Shikishima has no awareness I'm there. Okay, I did get surface spotted there. And it's actually a Plymouth. Okay, so that's a bit of a surprise. Didn't expect the Plymouth to be there, but here we go. Salvo on the Plymouth. And, okay, one Citadel. Wish I got a little bit more. And there goes the SAP. And the Dutch cruiser dropped another 2 airstrikes in somewhere. Not really in front of me. I'm going to get away from this airstrike. Not too much problems there. Okay. SAP, as you can see, raining down the enemy ship. You will notice very clearly there's 2 distinct ballistic profiles. You have the very, very flat, large caliber SAP, and then you have the much more taller arcing SAP from the small caliber 90mm guns. So, enemy Shikishima here. Not close enough yet to actually get the Citadel yet. I'm going to see if I can get it. Once again, you can see that the SAP is just doing work here, getting some damage. I'm just going to be careful. I don't really want to get blapped by anything hard. Oof. Okay, let's see what I can shoot next. I believe this Plymouth is backing out, so that should be a good amount of damage there. Yep, got another Citadel. SAP is just continuing to rain down on that Shikishima. Okay, Shikishima, there we go. Did some more damage to me. Eating some more damage here. Okay, getting a little bit dicey. I believe I'm going to use the island here to momentarily disengage, but already sitting on 111k damage from the combination of SAP and the AP Citadels here. Get another salvo in there. Okay, that's a good salvo. And as you can see, there you go. Citadel the Shikishima on the sort of rear turret cheek area. Okay, so get another heal off, and I'm going to appear on the other side and hopefully re-engage these enemy ships. Okay, the Plymouth, not super healthy, and almost dead here. Getting close, getting close. See if I can pull some range, give my secondaries another few shots in on the Shika. Probably should have switched over to HE here. That might have actually netted me a little bit more damage if I was able to get a fire, but it is okay. Enemy Harlem is, believe he's coming out on this side. He knows I'm here, but unfortunately he's got a Massachusetts in front of him, so he's got to try something. Perfect opportunity for me to come out here and start chewing him to bits with these secondaries. So here I go. There it is. Get a first salvo in there. Yep, that's 10k. 5 pens, 1 overpen, no Citadel, but the SAPs are going to work. Once again, angling the Shikishima, because if I don't, that Shikishima can hurt me. So once again, giving the Shikishima's guns some degree of respect while my SAP begins to chew into this Dutch cruiser. And, oh, wow, got fire set on me. That was a little bit disappointing. But all is good. All is good. There you go. Help my secondaries out with that little bit of damage on the Harlem. SAP just absolutely ripping through that guy. But Nevsky gets the kill. Okay. Final bit of HP for me. Last about 10,000 HP here. See if I can get some more damage on the Shika. There's another AK salvo. He bounced a bunch of shells there, so wasn't able to get everything that he wanted. Angle towards me, so I'm just going to aim for a superstructure and see if I can get the finishing blow. There we go. 174,000 damage game. And I actually thought the game was over. Legitimately, I thought, oh, okay, come on, we pushed all the way here. The game must be over. Nope. AFK, North Carolina. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll load the HE. A little bit too far away to get Citadel. So, shoot some HE, see if I can get some fires. Oh, and there's my high caliber. Only needed a teeny little bit more damage for my high caliber. And once again, let me get another HE salvo there. You can see the HE does have a reasonable fire chance as well, right? So don't be afraid to use it. There you go. 2 fires. Maybe I can set one more. So I'm going to try to set the bow on fire. And all right, switching over to AP, see if I can maybe get some good chunks of damage using the armor piercing. And there we go, Confederate procced as well. So it's pretty close to proccing both high caliber and Confederate after dealing with the Shika. So here we go. One last salvo. Okay, not a lot of damage there, but a pretty solid game. About sub 15 minutes. 100 and I believe 98,000 damage here in the Napoli. Really fun ship to play. And final results screen, 198,410 damage, 3 enemy ships sunk. Probably could have had a little bit more if I got in like those last little few hits. If you take a look at the damage distribution, 96,000 from the AP, 68,837 from the SAP Secondaries, a bit of damage from HE, bit of damage from fires, and potential damage 2.95 million. So, very, very durable. All in all, a lot of fun. I mean, I really enjoy Napoli's playstyle. This is something that, oh man, I want to play more of. Anyways, of course, with all the flags and camos and stuff like that, made a bunch of credits. I mean, I think in real normal gameplay without loading up all the flags, you probably won't see as much. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the Napoli. If you like what you saw, I think you should go grab her. She's a lot of fun and an enjoyable ship to play. Anyways, take care, be safe. I'll talk to all of you again next time.